It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defoe, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. On the road again, coming to you live today from Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood, Florida. This place has been here since the 1950s.
Yep.
Also since the 1950s or thereabouts. Tony Segreto.
I was born in 1950, so you figure out the math.
Okay, and in the corner there, in the far corner, the little postage.
Oh, that's where I am for the show. Beautiful.
Well, I guess
Mayo,
we want to display all this beautiful product in front of us.
I don't blame you.
Defoe. But Jeff Defoe DeForest coming from the home studios.
Yeah.
How you doing today, Defoe?
I'm doing all right. Lubie knocked it out of the park today with his production of the Tony Bruno radio show that we're doing on the Tony Bruno Sports Network. And it's always a hoot. Iron Eagle is one of our favorite guests. The guy, he doesn't look like he's going to be as comical as he is when you see him appearing on network TV,
Straight-laced.
although he drops a lot of subtle lines, to show his sense of humor. But he was just dynamite today. And then there's no better handicapper to talk to than Brandon Lang. Even if he goes 0 for 2 on his picks.
Did he give
Just
picks
sensational
this
today.
weekend?
He did.
Give me the
Yeah.
rundown real quick. What are the picks?
I believe he
from-
liked
oh,
Baltimore and Detroit because he can't
Yes.
root for San Francisco. He hates Kyle
He hates
Shanahan.
Shanahan now.
Okay, well, that is the Super Bowl I'm rooting for. I don't know if that's the one I would do
Me too.
handicapping food-wise,
Me
but
too.
Tony Segreto, here we are.
How about Tony Segreto? I mean, you are in the middle of royalty here. This is great. I mean, normally we look like the Three Stooges, but when you have Tony Segreto on the show, my
Shut
God,
up.
one of my favorite human beings, Tony Segreto.
Legendary. I don't know.
Yes.
Is the preceding adjective iconic or legendary, Tony? What
I
do you
don't
prefer?
know. I don't. I
Both of them make you feel old, right?
yeah. Both. No, not old. They make me appreciative of anything, of everything. That's all I can say.
Well, I went one place, and the guy who owned the food shop operations called me Sultan, the Sultan of South Florida food. That made me feel fat. So.
Yeah.
Tony says it looked like now he hasn't seen you every day like we have, so he says it looks like you took off a few.
He's took off a few pounds. I swear to
Okay.
God. I
Well,
swear to
I
God.
don't
What do you
believe
say,
that.
Lubie?
That's
I'm gonna-
fa- No, he's lost no weight. But what I will say is
He's brutal.
he is trying. He is trying.
It looks like it there from the
he is
display. The
trying.
fried chicken is right in front of him.
We have in front of us, and Gene's going to come on and explain what goes on here for both Valentine's Day, which is upcoming, obviously.
Put it
February
this way:
14th.
there's stone crabs for again the third of 4 appearances at Delaware. Now he did not request it this time. He did not push for it. I will give him credit. And by now he's usually at least eaten a whole stone crab. He hasn't touched one. So
It's because there's no plates.
yeah,
in
but even
front of
without a
me.
plate, you
That
would eat
be
it without a
rude.
plate. I've seen you eat it without a plate.
See,
So I give him credit. He is moving in the right direction when it comes to
And
food.
luckily, they've placed the key lime pies and red velvet cupcakes
Out of reach.
Defoe.
Yeah.
Even with my alligator.
Where's
arms,
Tony
he's-
going with the overall wager, though? He's got till June 17th to be under a deuce. I mean, under the
Right
Mendoza
now, I'm at
line
like
of weight.
240-ish.
Yeah,
So I
you
need
do
to lose
40
40 pounds in 4
5 months.
plus months. Yeah. What do you think?
oh yeah, he can do it.
What?
He can
Oh, Jesus,
easily
Tony.
do it.
Tony, you're optimistic about
Tony,
everything.
you're
though.
lying because
But
there's
will
stone
I
crabs
do
in
it?
front of you. You can be honest.
He can do it.
Yeah, okay.
He can do it. Now we gotta tell you something, Defoe, that you order this bag,
Sports writer.
and this is what you get.
I don't know if you get the
What's that?
chicken.
Oh, yeah. He's going to get.
This
I don't
is-
think you
this
get
is
the
what you
chicken,
get.
but you get, I think, the stone crabs, the shrimp,
and chicken.
and the desserts. Do you get the chicken? No, you don't get the
Yeah.
chicken.
I
The
got a
chicken was
shrimp in
our
my
move.
mouth now.
I think the chicken was our move because we want to celebrate also the big game while we're here at Delaware. Because again, a lot of people like to grill wings, they like to grill steaks, grill burgers, and chicken wings and fried chicken just feels like the big game. So we're combining Valentine's Day, their Valentine's package, and a little bit of big game action.
And I just
And that's
jumped the gun
that
here.
roasted chicken. That
Yes,
it's
these
a
are a
little
nice
different than
favorite.
the fried chicken.
It's
So-
a nice favorite.
So yeah, I requested this from Gene today because my old colleagues at the Sun Sentinel, they just did this kind of contest of best fried chicken in South Florida. And it was an odd final 5, and they ended up awarding it again based supposedly on votes and not even any kind of judging. But to this restaurant that's near Lubie in Coral Springs, the Cook in the
And I've
Court,
been there,
which
and
is
it's
an
good.
excellent
They
restaurant.
do a good job. It's
Dina
really
and
good.
Keith are
It's good.
fabulous hosts and cooks and chefs, but they have a Korean fried chicken on the menu that was awarded best fried chicken. I was a little bit surprised because that chicken dish, which
It's not standard.
I've
fried
never
chicken.
had, and I've never been there for a full meal. I've seen them at lots of events. Tony, have you
Yeah.
ever been up there to Cook in the Court in Coral
No,
Springs?
no.
But their version of Korean fried chicken to default is boneless, and to me, boneless fried chicken is disqualifying
chicken
because
tenders.
Yeah, that's not fried chicken.
isn't
Who
all
wants
the
a
flavor
chicken
on the
with no
bone?
spine?
Yeah, that's
exactly.
that's a chicken
You talk
finger
to-
or a chicken tender.
No, you
That's
talk
not
to
fried chicken.
foodies, and it's like all that flavor and the fat, all that
Yeah, it's in the
stuff
bone.
is in
It
the
starts with the
bone,
bone.
and when you
Yeah.
fry the bones, it releases the marrow. I'm going to make stuff up here, but I'm
Sounds
You
good.
fry
though.
the bone.
yeah. I mean, you got to. Now, this-
just fry the bone. Just fry the bone.
What people don't realize, because obviously they got beautiful product here at Delaware Chicken and Seafood, 4191
They have
North
great
State Road
product.
7 in Hollywood. You know, you buy your raw chicken pieces and parts, very,
Thank you.
very, cost conscious pricing here. Again, people who have been here said it's, more reasonable than many of the major markets that you
Oh,
go
yeah,
to for
they
their
do.
chicken parts.
Yeah.
They get great high quality chickens, no antibiotics, no, additives or unnatural stuff. It's beautiful chicken products, and they use these chicken products to have this grab and go stuff, Defo, for like somebody like you that wants to kind of maybe just pop in without.
I love the roasted chicken. We had it there, and it's a little bit different than fried
I'm going
chicken.
in. Yeah.
I'll give you a place though that never gets mentioned that is renowned for their fried chicken is Kesey's Simply Delicious. The Greek place, it's on commercial now. They used to be on A1A next to the Even Keel, but
Right.
that location, I guess they couldn't do the lease anymore. But they had a second location nearby, just down the street there towards the bridge. And you have to order it in advance though, or I think you may even have to be there.
Oh,
But,
really?
supposedly, like the best of the best. I've had it; they're very, very good. No
I've
doubt
never
about
had
it.
it there. I'll
Yeah,
have to
it's
try
really
it.
good. Yeah.
It's a place in Pompano, Maryland, fried chicken that didn't even make the final five. Joe Stone Crab did make the final cut for the Sun Sentinel top five because, again, talking about good combination, they have a fried chicken on the menu is a loss leader. They only charge like $8.95, which eases this thing of the the stone crab sometimes. But right here, this is a great combo, and this you can available here for this coming weekend with the big championship games, and then of course the big game coming up February 11th.
Yep.
It's a 2-week gap again, right? So,
Yes.
Tony, you were saying you like Baltimore, San Francisco, or Baltimore, Detroit?
Baltimore, Detroit.
Okay. Defo, are your picks in yet?
Tony's got that Motown connection also. I was trying to handicap it based on music, the Detroit-San Francisco game. And you have some very distinguished people, in terms of musical talent coming out of San Fran. Of course, the Grateful Dead, I guess, would be the number one band out of there. You had, Jefferson Airplane. Carlos Santana is a San Francisco musician. But all eclipsed easily, I think, just by the cast from Motown alone. And then you throw in Bob Seger and Eminem. And
Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit has a lot
has
of
the edge.
musical talent.
This is
yeah.
interesting because usually I do my handicapping based on the food and restaurant scene.
Restaurant
There's not
scene,
much
yeah.
in the food factor, though, on
of
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yes,
Is
they
there?
are. Yes, they are. In Detroit,
Okay,
oh
go
my
ahead.
God. You go down the
There's Greektown.
Greektown.
There's Dearborn, Michigan, which has a huge Middle Eastern population, so you get great Mediterranean,
There's
Middle
Little
Eastern
Italy.
hmm
Okay.
And
But compared to San Francisco and the
and-
sophistication of the food there, the restaurants, I mean,
oh no, I mean
one of the great dining scenes in the country.
close to wine country. Look, if objectively speaking, you would say San Francisco in a runaway if it's the food restaurant
Yeah.
matchup. Detroit holds its own. There's some good stuff in Detroit. I don't know, like, did you realize Eminem has opened up a little pasta shack called Mom's Spaghetti in
Oh, yeah?
How
I
is
thought
that?
he hated
place?
his
You've
mother,
talked
though.
about it.
No,
Yeah.
well, that was in
Well, they've actually
the
fixed it years
lyric
ago. Yeah,
in
they
the
fixed it years
song
ago.
"Lose Yourself," where he's like talking
Mom's
about
spaghetti.
he's so nervous before the rap battle that he's throwing up Mom's Spaghetti, and then he
How
actually.
about Mayo with deep knowledge of Eminem? I wouldn't
I
have
know,
expected
I know
that.
my
of him.
rap music. I know my contemporary. Meanwhile, phones are going off. Did you wander away, Defo? There's an
No,
amber
there's an amber
alert.
alert
It's
going
not
on.
you.
Amber alert.
Okay. Every phone in the
I
joint is
might,
going.
I wouldn't know if I had or I
I
hadn't
was
at
gonna
this stage.
say,
Oh,
does he
thank
know
you.
if he wandered? Or didn't
Oh
wander?
man! But anyway,
Yeah.
he opened the Eminem opened up kind of a spoof on the song. It's this little like drive-through place where you put spaghetti and meatballs in like a Chinese
Oh, like
container.
Oh, that's great.
I love
and
that.
then
bucket.
and you just
Put
it's
it in
a
a bucket.
and you just kind of go through it. And he was actually
Wonder why they
serving it the
didn't
first day
think
it
of it
opened.
here.
Hmm?
Think of it here.
Yeah,
I
that
would
be
love
interesting.
that.
I would do that.
I
for
like
sure.
any kind of pasta.
People would eat it in the car.
Yeah.
You could have it as a
Drive-through Chinese was always my favorite.
Did you see Lubie? Did you see Lubie eat in the car?
I
like
wouldn't
this?
eat in the car. I'm actually not a big car eater.
Lubie, no, he's under orders to keep his car clean. But
Yeah, I'm
the thing that got me about Detroit, and I don't know, I mean, Tony, you'd be able to address this. Mike might know about it also, Mike Mayo, because the first thing that pops up when you look up food from Detroit is a coney dog, which I immediately thought, oh my God, how I don't want to
How
use the word
fitting.
disgusting, but I
How
thought of
fitting.
these, the conies from Skyline Chili. But what exactly comprises a coney dog, Tony? You might have had one in your travels to Detroit. Do
I
you
have
know?
not. I have heard of
Okay.
it. I have
It's
not.
not a
heard,
Coney
I-
Island dog, but
I know these things. They
Yeah.
I don't know why they use the name Coney for Coney Island.
seemed inappropriate.
Because obviously Coney Island in Brooklyn is famous for its hot dogs.
No, it's the
first place
Skyline dog. The Skyline dog is a
Right.
Coney dog.
Nathan's has Coney Island hot dogs. Then now all of a sudden the Midwesterners figured, okay, we're gonna like glom on from New York, but they've shortened the dog and they put chili and cheese and yellow mustard on it.
Yeah.
And now this is another big Michigan-Ohio rivalry, like the Wolverines and the Buckeyes. Who has the better Coney dogs? Is it the Skyline in Ohio or all these Detroit places that are famous for their Coney
You know,
dogs?
I think Detroit is a sleeper team.
For on the field or in the food? Because on the field, I agree. On the food, I don't know.
I want to see
guess.
something different. I want to see
I
a
wanna
Detroit
see-
team that's never
Oh
been
no, I
in
mean
the
we're all
Super
rooting
Bowl.
for them, obviously. But when it comes
That
down
town will go nuts.
to, as Tifo talks about the spread, that's what really matters, as you
I
guys know.
want the
So
Detroit Buffalo, two teams that have never won a Super Bowl, a bunch of
Then one has to win, yeah.
losers, and but instead we're going to get either the Ravens or the Chiefs again. I don't know. I mean, music-wise, Baltimore versus Kansas City. Where do you go with that one? Music-wise,
KC has some pretty
food-wise?
good musicians, that
Jazz.
have come out of there. Yeah, a lot of
Oh,
jazz guys, some blues
That's
people
true.
that I'm fond of. Yeah, and they is Count Basie also? Is it possible that Count Basie was a KC musician? I think he
That
was.
sounds like it's possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
that's a
look it up.
tough call. I mean, on
Google
food,
Michigan.
though, I mean, you're talking about Baltimore. You're talking crab
Crab
cakes
cakes.
and
Crab
blue
cakes.
crabs
Seafood,
versus KC and the barbecue. That
There's
Bay
nothing.
seasoning.
There's nothing like.
Old Bay fries.
There's nothing like the Baltimore food.
I love that. I mean,
love it.
Food wise, in that matchup, okay,
Oysters.
Kansas City, you've got tomato sauce
And you can
barbecue,
even-
which Ken, the professor, hates
Yeah.
anything with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
saucy barbecue.
that's my
Arthur
favorite
Bryant's
barbecue,
is
yeah.
the famous barbecue joint in Kansas City. Also, a lot of steakhouses and
I was
good
gonna say the food's got to be
Midwestern
decent.
beef.
Kansas City, Baltimore,
But it's kinda
probably
bland.
really good.
And I'm gonna go with Baltimore. Both. Well, any musicians from Baltimore?
I'm sure there are. Off the top of my head, I couldn't name you.
You
any.
know,
really don't know.
when we traveled with the Dolphins, you may remember this, Mike. They would, when we traveled to Baltimore, they would get crab cakes from the Pimlico.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of covering the
Yeah,
Preakness
that
every
was served.
You've had a few crab cakes at Pimlico, also. I think, Michael, in your travels,
had
various
year. Crab
racetracks.
cakes pretty much everywhere. Yeah, it was great.
It was really, really good. So they would put the crab cakes on the plane, and then they put all the other food on the plane, and they just gobbled up the crab cakes, gobbled them up.
I would gobble them up. I don't know if they have. Do they have them in the press box at Ravens games? I think Joe Cassell posted that he worked the game up there, and they did serve
Oh, yeah.
one crab cake per customer,
Yeah.
which is a little strict. That would.
I think he said they had cannoli, which naturally led to the, line of the Godfather fame. Take the gun, leave the cannoli.
Well, I do want to
Which,
say hello to someone who joined us. We know Defoe's ailing. The one and only Joey Kornblit is now watching us. So I do
Oh,
want to say
great.
hello
Oh,
to Joey.
beautiful. Hey,
Joey.
Joey.
You're doing well, my friend.
legend. Talk
Point and
about
game to the
iconic
six.
and legendary when it comes to highlight, the sport, great sport of highlight. Joey Joey.
The Blue Hairs loved him at Dania. I mean,
I love him.
on the BO5 night, they were
He's
all
getting out
cheering
of the
for Joey.
hospital today.
Oh, good to hear
Oh,
that
good.
he's
Thank
on the
God.
mend.
Thank
We
God.
like getting the daily health reports from various quarters. Speaking
Is
of
anybody
which,
okay among the group here? Lubie's the only guy
I'm
in good
okay
health, and
now.
he was down for the count for a couple
Mayo
of weeks.
Clinic
now.
portion. Oh, and we saw Doug Carter, of course, the great owner
Doug's looking
and
great.
of Delaware Chicken and Seafood. He told us, he also had a little hip problem. He's going to go for some therapy, but he's walking around here.
Yeah.
He was going up and down the stairs to the office. Always great to see Doug and his whole crew here will take great care of you. We're going to have Gene on in a minute. We got Jose, the manager, is always great. But Doug, we asked how old is he, right? And
86.
He said 86, but he rounded up, and then he realized
actually going
it's not
ahead.
until
85.
July. And I said it's always good to be an optimist. So
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, he'll get there.
Yeah, why not? He's going to get there, of course.
He's a young 85.
Yeah, he looks
I'll
great.
tell
He's
you
still
that.
working.
What were the origins, Mike Mayo? You would know this, and I worked in a zillion restaurants, but and it was always like 86. The special was the big joke. But where did the term 86 come from in terms of referring to
cancel.
being out of an item in a restaurant?
That's a great question, and I'm going to Google that during the break. Meanwhile, I Google
What were the origins of this?
No. These are the kinds of things that esoterica that is meaningless to a lot of people,
Yeah.
but I wonder
That
about
Mayo
it.
adores, yeah.
I'm going to find out. But meanwhile, you were wrong. Count Basie, great jazz band.
Oh, he's not
leader.
from Kansas City?
He more
was-
asked.
he was-
Oh, is he
didn't
from
really-
Detroit?
He was born in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Oh,
So
yeah?
Red Bank,
Really?
New
Okay.
Jersey.
more along the lines
I
of
knew I
him,
liked
Defoe,
him.
an Atlantic City degenerate.
There
And
you
guess
go.
where he died?
I don't know.
Right here in Hollywood, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well, Count
Yeah.
Basie.
There you
April
go.
26th,
My brother
1984.
owned a music store in Red Bank, New Jersey. Became very wealthy as a result of owning the Guitar Trader in Red Bank, New Jersey. Eventually got bought out by his competition across the street, Sam Ash, who couldn't stand getting the
Sam
snot
Ash.
beaten out of him financially every year, and
Nah.
so that was
Now-
it. That triggered his financial windfall that he just continued to increase to this day.
All right.
Nice.
Well, meanwhile, we've got he did have a link, Count Basie and his orchestra to Kansas City, because it said
Like I said,
his touring took him to Kansas City, St. Louis, New Orleans, and Chicago. So that's
There you go.
where he met many other jazz musicians from the Midwest and hung out with all of them. Meanwhile, all right, we're going to give Lubie the boot. We're going to give Defoe
Yeah.
the rest of the day off.
Wow.
And we're
We
going to
gotta
bring
walk
in
him the way
Gene.
only Gene.
Yeah, because Gene, we got to talk about
The
all the
grilling
stuff that's going on
and
for
chefing
the
machine.
big games and the Valentine's Day.
has
unless
Tony
he-
tried the chicken yet? Tony, did you try a piece of that chicken?
No, he
before?
loves the
I-
shrimp.
You can
I-
tell he's
He's
an
doing
old
work on the
sports
shrimp.
guy because he's barreled
He's
through
pounding
about,
it
I'm
from him.
counting about
for
a half
him.
dozen shrimp tails.
Yeah, all of the tails are on Tony's plate. I see that.
Ah, he loves it. Good for
Yours
him.
Meanwhile,
is relatively empty, Mike.
What
I
were the
I
odds
don't
that
get
we've
that.
done? We've gone through like almost the whole
We
first
haven't
segment,
touched the stone crabs.
and not one stone crab is gone.
We'll take it.
We've got
There's
some
something
roasted
wrong
chicken.
there. Tony, break the
bones.
ice on that, will you?
There you go.
There we go.
Come on, there you
Tony's
go.
Good
going
man.
in there.
No, I want
All
to
right.
see
You do have the
Tony's
mustard if
technique
you
on
want the
this,
mustard.
because he's very
Oh, I could show
sophisticated
you my
compared to us.
technique. I'm
We
going
know
right
your
for the
technique
biggest
is to
one.
eat it,
Still the
like,
best
even with
picture.
shell on it.
Yeah, that we post on Let's Eat South Florida, and of course Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is you doing that
This
stone
is very
crab.
rude of us to do this before Gene gets here, our
Yeah.
wonderful host who prepared these beautiful platters. Oh, look at Tony. He's dishing out the mustard.
Serving
It's
you.
like
Oh,
Chef
my God.
Boyardee
I
here.
feel like I'm at Joe's Stone Crab with Hank.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm
Hank
not
used to
going to
do
do
that
stone
for me
crabs.
back in the day.
I take whatever
No,
I
he
have
did
to
not do
my
that.
wife because I get yelled at if I don't.
How many times did you go to Joe's with Hank Goldberg,
Oh,
Tony?
Jesus.
I've lost count.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Well, he had like a table there.
He's like the mayor of
He-
Joe's,
he's
right?
Like the mayor of Joe's.
He didn't even break stride like
No.
on the way in. They
No.
didn't say, "Oh, you got to wait over
No,
here for a
no,
minute."
he
Just,
didn't break stride.
just boom, right to the table. How about you, there, Defoe? Did you ever have any meals with the great?
Well, with Hank,
Yeah.
had many meals, most of which were in the little sports office there at WIOD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I meant
because
at Joe's. At Joe's Stone
Yeah,
Crab.
Joe's Stone Crab. I never went there with Hank. I've only been to Joe's a few times lifetime. It's a little out of the
there
way
it
for
is.
me, being in Broward, but
I
and
tell
like you
you-
say, stone crabs. I just as soon go to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood.
Oh no,
Market.
this is the place to
Exactly.
pick them up
Yeah.
because you don't need all the pomp and circumstance of the crowds and waiting for a table and all that. You come here, you just pick a number.
What's
you
the
get-
standard grease for the concierge there? I mean, for the maitre d.
at Joe's?
At Joe's, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
20
Back
bucks.
in the day, it
Automatic
used to
20, or is that
be-
too
when I
low now?
first started in 1989, I would do $10 a head. So if it was
10?
a four top,
Oh, a head,
$40.
okay.
Oh, a head. Wow.
head.
Okay.
And
Good for you.
then inflation took in, and then I went up to if it was a two top it would be 40. It would be 20 a head. But if it was a 4-top, it would be $50 schmear. That $50 makes people happy usually. And again, the key when you go to Joe's, always at the end of the meal, never at the beginning. It's a huge insult to do it at the beginning. You get very, very surreptitious handshake.
See, I always think, of Henry Hill. You gotta, just Henry Hill everybody and grease
That's
them
not
as you
the
walk
Joe's
in.
way.
No?
Joe's
But
is
you know
different.
what the Delaware way is? You don't have to schmear anythody anything. You
They're
get your
schmearing
number, you
great
get your
service
stone
and great
crabs,
food.
you say, can you crack them? And if you're feeling generous, I throw a couple of bucks, sometimes a $5 at the guy who's cracked my crabs because, it's always nice to tip your servers
tip
and
your
people that
server.
are, especially if they're cracking the crab for you, which they do here all the time. All right, so we'll bring in Gene. He's waiting patiently.
Yeah, we're going to take a break, and
And
then
we're
we'll
going
come
to
back with
take
the
our
one and only.
first
All right.
break.
You guys have
Default-
fun, man. I'm very envious. I may return to the road next week, I'm hoping.
Okay, we
Nice.
are
For
looking
some
forward
shows,
to
yeah.
it. We've got a busy schedule next week. Tomorrow, we'll also see you in the little picture from Gulfstream.
Yeah.
One more,
at
one
10
more shot.
Palms.
Yeah.
Big day before the Pegasus on Saturday, which is going to have like
Yeah.
4
Big
huge
day.
$1 million stakes races.
I think the restaurant seating is sold out for Saturday.
Oh yeah.
10 Palms
They
at the other
they are
restaurants.
packed with VIPs. Not even I can get in on Saturday. I'm
Oh
Look at
yeah,
that.
get out of here.
Well, I didn't ask anybody, but these big race days, I like to just
Yeah, leave him
sometimes
alone.
kind of mill around the grounds.
Because
Joe
Jersey
Basic
Kyle
was
asked me
one
to
of-
see if you could get him a couple of passes.
Oh, that's
good
an
luck. Yeah,
impossibility.
good
there's no way. Good luck. Yeah, there's no way.
Good luck.
Joe Beja told us last week. He
Yeah, we
laughed
get-
before we even brought it
No,
up.
he could get
86.
he could get a GA, and I'm going to look up the 86. All right. Meanwhile, let's take our first break
Tony,
we'll
good
be
seeing you,
back
man. Always a
with
pleasure.
seeing
Two
you,
mics.
Defoe.
Yes.
We love you,
with
Dave.
Tony Segreto
So we feel
and with
best.
And our best to
Gene.
Joey Kornblit, for sure.
Good.
Yes, yes.
All right, we'll be back after these words on the Lunchbox. For Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to bashsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox. We're at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood, right there on State Road 7, just south of Sterling Road. It's been a Hollywood perennial, a favorite. And we've got Tony Segreto working on his stone crabs and fried chickens. He thinks he's at Joe's Stone Crab, but we're at Delaware.
The best in town.
Gives me great pleasure to welcome back Gene. Thank you so much. A pleasure to see you. Happy New Year. How's your 24 going so far?
So far, so good. Hey, it's nice to have you guys back. For the
Is it
first
really?
show. Yeah.
We put a dent in the stone crab population.
Nice to be back.
We do appreciate every time we come out here, the generosity and the beautiful seafood, which people can come in and get. But yeah, what do we have here? I kind of added on the roasted chicken just because of the Sun Sentinel's fried chicken competition.
Mhm.
And I say this roasted chicken as a grab and go item is pretty freaking good. But you also were coming up to some big games and Valentine's Day, right?
Yes. This is a popular item for the big games as well. It's called roasted chicken. Actually, it's not fried chicken.
It's roasted?
It's pressure fried.
Pressure fried.
Pressure fried, which means the way the chicken cook, it's wet and then it's cooked from inside out. So the oil doesn't even get inside the chicken. So when you eat fried chicken, you take a bite and then your hand is greasy and all that. But the roasted chicken is a trademark, and then the way you should do it, you have to have the machine to do it. It's just, you don't just put it in a deep fryer. You have to have a pressure fryer.
Okay.
And then you use canola oil, which is healthy,
Mm-hmm.
and that make it, a really great product.
Really good.
Very,
really,
very,
really
yeah,
good.
not greasy at all. And the roasted, I guess it makes you think of like broiled and roasted and not really fried, deep fried. But a beautiful product and juicy. You're digging into one of them?
Digging
there,
into
right?
digging into.
How do you
this,
sell
and
it by? Is it like by the pound or is it by
It's
the
by
piece?
the piece.
Yeah.
You could get like you could get just a breast, or you
Yeah.
could get just a wing. You could get a piece, or you could get
I
4
have my
pieces,
drumstick
which includes a breast, a wing, a thigh, and drumsticks. Or you could get a whole chicken. You could get 20 pieces. You could get 30 pieces if you have a party for the big game. So just let us know ahead of time. We could get it ready for you.
And that's for the people who don't want to go to the trouble of like buying the raw chicken and
go home
and
and
grilling it and prepping it and all that.
yeah,
So.
and then it's much better when we do it for you. And it's not that expensive when you look at the price.
Especially if you're entertaining and you have a big crowd, you want to be paying attention to the guests. So you
Yes.
just grab and go the things that are ready to eat.
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, this stuff is always,
What
I'm
is
always
the-
ready to eat it.
What is your biggest seller, not counting the stone crabs?
Poultry in general.
Yeah.
Poultry. We sell a lot of poultry, which is turkeys, whole fryers, boneless chicken breast is a heavy. It's a heavyweight. A lot of people buy the boneless chicken breast, chicken cutlets. So
Do you sell the turkeys all year round?
all year round. You can see
And-
we have
yep.
them in the case right now.
Turkey
and then
legs
we have
too.
plenty.
You love those turkey legs.
We have
Tony.
plenty.
They're
We have
big.
the turkey legs right there next to the turkey wings.
Let me
We
ask you,
have 'em.
because when I talk about Valentine's Day, I think of like romantic dinners, and I say like duck is a very romantic dish. Do you do sell the ducks? Or the,
Yeah, we do prepare 'em. The only thing you have to call us and order it ahead of time.
Okay, I didn't
If you don't
realize that.
call it and order it ahead of time, because it takes me about 2 hours to get a duck done.
Okay,
So if I know ahead of time, I could get as many as
that's a
you
cooked,
want.
a prepared duck.
It's a prepared
Okay,
duck.
but
if
you also sell raw ducks
Yeah,
if
we
people
have
want to
the raw-
roast their own,
yeah,
right?
if
So
you're gonna roast it by yourself, you just come in and pick one up. We have them available 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, all year round.
they call it a chicken farm and poultry market for a reason, because you got all the birds,
We
and you also got steaks and chops. I
Yeah.
mean the
Do
pork products.
you have your own farm?
We don't have our own farm, but we get our product from the
What's market's close? I mean, it's
Yeah.
farms nearby, and
Yeah.
I know for
Yeah.
the turkeys for the Thanksgiving, they're trucking them in by the truckload.
correct.
And
Mhm.
but once upon a time, Tony, and this was the origin story that Doug told me, is that when it was Elsie's parents that first owned it, there was an actual chicken farm
Yeah,
down
I
the
know.
road.
In the back, yeah.
Yeah.
We just come in and you said, "I want this chicken," and
Yeah.
then we come in and then we take it, and then
Those days
we
are
slaughter it for you,
a little
and then
bit-
give
yeah.
you
Those days
everything.
are gone.
those
Nah,
days are gone.
You're
but
not
they're,
gonna see them anymore.
they're still getting
Mhm.
great product.
How often do you have to throw product away?
Not very often, because we move product at a high cliff, so
Mhm.
we don't really we have to throw a product out, and then we do quality control. If it's not good, it doesn't make it to the showcase. So
let
that's
me-
the first thing.
But he brings up a good point, because a lot of times in the restaurant industry, there's a lot of talk about waste and what do you do, and some people donate it to food banks. Do you guys? I know you managed to figure out a way to use products so that you made that beautiful turkey dip, the turkey spread that I had, and I guess that's some of the things that you do is you'll cook them and then make it into a product that lasts a little bit longer, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really get involved in it.
Right.
If it's bad, it's not good to sell to the customer, we get rid of it.
Yeah.
Right.
For example, you have turkey piled up there.
Mhm.
Well,
Will
those
you
are the
sell-
chicken fryers. Yeah.
Chicken fryers.
Yeah.
Will you have that sold by the end of the day or by tomorrow?
By tomorrow.
Yeah.
By tomorrow, or by the end of 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen the people come and go
Yeah, I
through the
have.
lot
Yeah,
here,
by the end
Tony.
of 2 hours.
They
Yeah.
have high turnover
Yeah.
here, and the seafood.
Do
whether
people
it's
buy
the
the necks and what have you?
Yeah, everything. The necks, the
Gizzards.
drumsticks, the gizzards, everything.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, I mean
You
this
name it,
is
My
because
mother-
that's why they come here.
in the I guess restaurant business they call it tail to snout when you're dealing with like pork products, and it's the same thing. I guess it's from beak to to
Yeah.
the to
My
the tail.
my mother and father were big on the gizzards and oh my
If you
god.
can't have turkeys and then gravy, not having, or better yet, you cannot have the dressing. That's what they call it.
Mhm.
Cannot have dressing without putting the gizzards
Is-
in there.
Yeah.
So they chopped up the gizzards and then mix it in and then put it in the dressing.
Let me get back to seafood, because I know that one of the reasons we're here is talk about Valentine's Day, and a lot of people don't like going out to restaurants. It's one of the craziest, busiest days of the year. What can people get? You said you put together these the packages
Yeah,
for two. Here, hold up the bag,
we
Tony.
have-
you get like a
We have
nice-
this package that we came up with, I would say, 5 or 10 years ago, when we started doing this, and then it turned out to be a very successful thing.
Mhm.
We prepared this. People call in, they order them,
Mhm.
or they can just come in and we get it. And if you didn't order, that doesn't mean you can't
Yeah.
come in to get it.
And the package includes
That's include the stone crab. It's dinner for two. That's
Okay.
what we call it.
Mhm.
It's dinner for two. That's include 2 pounds of stone crab. We got a dozen shrimp.
nice.
We have cocktail sauce. We have mustard sauce. We have cupcakes and key lime pie in there, and then some coleslaw, which we didn't put on the table for you, with some coleslaw
But
to go with it. But you
it's
have the chicken. instead
everything.
of
It's
the
a nice
coleslaw.
romantic. Obviously, if you want to embellish it a little bit, you can pick up some
What does it
red
cost?
roses and
Valentine
champagne.
special.
The Valentine special.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
And then we have
Do-
3 sizes.
Do you know? Okay.
We have 3 sizes. It's we do This is the large one with the large stone crab, with the medium stone crab, and then the jumbo. We rarely sell the colossal, but
Did you
those
set
are
the
three main
prices
ones.
yet for this year's
We
edition?
still working on
Okay.
finalizing the price because there's certain product like the cupcakes we haven't been able to get, so we trying to
I'll tell you
set up
this.
the price for
It's
everything.
going to be more reasonable than a restaurant and much more romantic because you could have it at
At
home.
home with
Yeah.
the
You bring some
light
red
your own
roses, you
candles.
bring a bottle of champagne or your favorite beverage, and then you have your stone crab and shrimp and a little bit of key lime and the red velvet cupcake for dessert.
Yeah. And you don't have
And-
to wait for Valentine's to have it.
That's
you could have it
true.
at any time. You could call before Valentine and even after Valentine's Day, we'll still have them available for you.
Go online to DelawareChicken.com is the website where you find out all the information along with the daily specials, the daily offerings, the weekly specials. They always have some chicken deals week to week here. You guys are open 7 days, right?
7 days, Monday through Saturday, we open 8:30 to 6, and
if-
on Sunday 9:30 to 4. We're
And-
here to serve you.
And if they want to do a special order or, get a prepared duck or whatever you want, you just call them here. And the number is 954.
983-6831.
I should know it by heart.
954
983-6831.
983-6831.
31 Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Well, Gene, thank you so much. As usual, I'm going to
Gene,
work
you're
my
the
way
best.
through these stone crabs. Delicious as always. I got a little.
And for the big game, we also have a bunch of steaks, ribeye, New York strip, filet mignon, and we're also gonna have the wing platters. You could call us and order your wing platters. You could call us and order your stone crab platters. You could call us and order shrimp platters. We'll have them ready for you. You just come in and get them, and then
Just
go ahead and
saying-
enjoy the game.
Hearing the word shrimp platter fills
Yeah.
me with all kinds of
Yeah.
excitement. And again, the big game, which we can't say what it is,
The Super
February
Bowl.
11th.
The Super Bowl, for God's sake.
Tony, Roger Goodell is going to come right down from the mountaintop. And
Roger
strike
Goodell
us.
could come
He's gonna
down. For
smite-
God's sake, it's the Super Bowl.
This is a commercial enterprise. We got to say big game. Now, for this weekend, we could say, can we say NFC and AFC championships? Yes, we can.
It's the Super Bowl.
I don't know the
folks.
rules, Gene. I don't
Yeah.
want anybody to find me or say you can't watch football
They
ever
want,
again.
They want a little cut on what you're making because you mentioned that name.
That's right.
That's all it is
I'm
about.
going to take it out of Tony's cut. Luckily, Tony does this pro bono, so he can get Roger Goodell. You come get a good 20% of Tony's take.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All great. Hey, it's great to be with Gene as
Gene,
usual.
You're the best.
We might see
Thank
a little bit of Jose later on
Jose
the
should
show.
be coming up.
Excellent. Thank you, my friend.
All right,
Always
guys.
a
Thank
pleasure.
you, my friend.
The roasted chicken.
Nice having you.
They got the shrimp. If you come in here and check it out, you're going to be amazed by
Yes.
the range, the diversity, the cleanliness. It's just like immaculate in here. Everything, all the product looks tremendous. There's your sausages, Tony. You got the
sausages. are-
house-made turkey, chicken sausage, and of course the classic traditional pork sausage. Look at that. They are just
They're begging.
begging to be thrown on the grill for a football game with a little
I like that.
roasted peppers
They
and
begging.
onions.
They're begging. They're
Nice
begging.
big
begging.
long hoagie roll. It's all good here at Delaware. And again, these guys, they take great pride in service with a smile and get you in and out the door really efficiently. It doesn't even matter what day or time of day. Pick a number and they will have the staffing to get you through the doors and on your way. Delaware Chicken and Seafood, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. All right, Gene.
Thank you.
You the man.
Thanks,
All right,
Gene.
guys.
All right.
Beautiful.
Let's take another break. But you know what? I'm going to do a word about another iconic, legendary place.
What's that?
That's around the corner. Technically, old Fort Lauderdale, Dania Beach, but our friends at Tropical Acres.
Oh, yeah. Those
Also,
guys are great.
long-running sponsors and friends of the Lunchbox. We love the Studiali family. It's kind of the same kind of concept that we always talk about,
Okay.
that family-run place.
I know. I trust you.
We were talking with the Gilberts yesterday at Gilbert's Grill, a family-run joint. This has that family feel because
Doug and
of
his wife, and
the
their
Carters, Doug and his late wife
When
Elsie.
it's family owned, you can't beat it.
Yeah, since 1951, family owned here. And Delaware, I'm sorry, Tropical Acres since
Family owned.
1949.
Yep.
So that's even older than you and Defoe and
Yeah,
Delaware.
and Delaware. Yeah.
75th anniversary they're
You know,
celebrating.
when
this
you're
year.
around
That's amazing.
75 years, you must be doing something
Exactly.
right.
Yep.
We're
If you-
talking about changing a demographics all the time.
Yeah, and they get a
Yes.
whole crowded. What I love, okay, my parents love going there, and it kind of choked me up because I was going through some pictures with mom and
Yeah.
my parents' last anniversary together. It was June 20th, 2019. They celebrated. I'm sorry, 2018 was celebrated at Tropical Acres. I found a picture of my mom kissing my dad on the cheek as he was having his dessert. I sent that picture over to Jack Studiali. His heart gets warm because that's
Yeah.
the kind of people make
generation
memories.
after generation
Yeah.
after generation.
And now my daughter loves going there with her mom, and my daughter, 18-year-old hipster,
Exactly.
she usually doesn't want to be seen at any place that And when people try to say, "Oh, well, it's not the hippiest," but it is. People, I'm seeing younger couples go in there on date nights.
Good
It's
food
gonna
and good service. That's really what it comes down to, and that's what Tropical Acres has done for 75 years and soon to be over 75 years.
And if you don't want to get one of these packages and stay at home, you could go
to
check it out.
Tropical
They do
Acres for
Valentine's Day.
But
Valentine's Day.
I would advise you to make a reservation.
Yes, 954-989-2500 is the number over at Tropical Acres. And they only do reservations the old school way. This is why I love them. You can't go online to one of these platforms.
No, you can't. You got to go.
You got to get on the
call
Give them
phone.
a call. Yep.
You'll probably get to talk to either Marie, that's Jack's sister, or Carolyn, also his sister, Francie. She'll answer the phone, but you make your reservation the old-fashioned way. Say, hey, can I get a table for 2 for Valentine's Day? It's 6:00.
Great cocktails too.
No,
Great.
the cocktail happy hour is fantastic.
Happy hour,
Monday
half
through
price
Friday.
wine night Monday and Tuesday, and of course the loyalty reward club card. For every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one on the house up to a $35 value. That'll get you a beautiful piece of prime rib or filet mignon. Tropical Acres, we love them. Go there and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Today we are at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. We just spoke with the one and only Gene. Coming up, hopefully, Jose himself, another part of the team here at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Mayo goes for stone crab number 2. Tony's done a good job. I'm trying to keep up with both of them, and we'll do that right next for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Again, live from Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market.
To me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defoe sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defoe here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting. Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox at Delaware Chicken and Seafood. We got Tony Segreto enjoying his lunch of stone crab and roasted chicken. And we've got Jose, the manager. Great to see you. Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year,
Lubie
guys.
was very concerned during the break. I was so intent on getting this stone crab claw out. He thought I was going to be completely zoned out when we came back.
It was funny. It was funny.
But here we go. I got it out. To me, I always consider it cheating if you use the nutcracker. You guys do such a great job cracking it that you are able to get the whole crab out without.
Yeah, you want it. You want to make sure you get the trick. Look.
Oh, look at you. Look at this. This guy does it in less than 10 seconds. Unbelievable. He's a pro.
Oh,
How does he do that?
Because he's been here for like 30 years. Look at that.
look at that service. Look at that
There
service.
goes another one. One less for Lubie to take home.
come
Go ahead.
on.
Go for it, Tony.
Can't get that back.
I'm going to go into mine here. I love the mustard sauce. How you doing, my friend? How's it going?
Doing great. We're doing great. Season is treating us very well. The weather's been a little rough for the commercial guys, but hanging in there. It's not the perfect weather for them, but they're working hard. They really treat the product very proudly and very good.
So it's a little bit rough at sea and harder to get those traps in.
It's been. They haven't been working the outside traps, which deeper water. It has to stay more like in shallow water to be available to move around and catch the product.
That means the supplies are a little bit down and the prices are staying a little bit higher.
The prices it should have been down a little bit after the new year, but the weather hasn't
But you know what?
provide that situation.
This time of the year, late January, February, is always windy.
Always in by all means, don't get me wrong. This December, which is the 31 days of December, it's been rough. I mean, it's brutal. It was rough. Talking about for Christmas and New Year, my dear wife was actually traveling with me just to be available to pick up the product because they were so tired they couldn't get that schedule to actually make it on time. So you need to do what you need to do to make sure your customers get the product.
But you survived. Obviously, Thanksgiving is a huge month for you, and then the holidays a big month. You looked a little exhausted. I was concerned the last
Christmas
time
and
I
New
saw
Year's was rough.
Yeah.
And like I say,
So you were driving around the state and picking up like you're going out to Everglades City, or
going to Fort Myers. I mean, we got a couple of vendors, a couple of fish houses that we do business all year long. They didn't have the people to be able to. It's such a long days that I need to put some of my part.
My wife works for New River Groves.
Oh, Bob. Okay.
Bob Roth, New River Groves, and they have to go to Orlando or to get the
These
stone
guys-
crabs to bring them back.
These guys will go the distance. I mean, you've got to satisfy your orders for your regular customers during the New Year's and the Christmas Eve, and you'll go to any lengths to make sure you get them.
And the customers are here all year long, and it goes for everybody. The customers are here; they're faithful customers. You need to do the same thing for them.
Right.
You need to go the extra mile. It's not that
And you need to do it for the first timers too,
Well,
because
nobody wants to
pays
come
off.
in and see an empty stone crab.
Because the first timer
it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
the
Oh, well,
first-
that brings up are you ever and we were talking before you came on today with Defo, and he's disappeared again, but the term 86 in the food industry means that you're out of something. Do you ever have to 86 stone crabs that you don't have enough? Yeah.
But last year we did. This year
We had an 86. I would say New Year's by the 31st, which
Right.
is kind of rough. By the end of
Yeah,
the
if
day,
you walk
it's really
in-
hot. It's rough. But last year, the weather also didn't help. And we had like at least 2 or 3 days that we didn't have any crabs. And it was not because we didn't try it or the fishermen didn't try it. It's just, there
And
was
you hate
no way to
you
go
hate
out.
doing
I was
that.
asking Gene, what's your biggest seller?
I would say the large.
Yeah.
Large and mediums.
And your biggest seller besides stone crabs?
in the seafood department.
And the seafood department, I would say
Shrimp?
there has to be shrimp.
Yeah.
Shrimp.
That shrimp. And the fillet, it would has to be salmon, flounder,
Okay.
cod.
When you are on that rare occasion and don't have the stone crab, you just tell people go get the beautiful Gulf or Key West pink
We
shrimp.
get
or-
the Gulf, we get the cooked shrimps, we had the snow crabs, the king crabs, but and the bottom line, Mike, and it's straightforward, the truth. When you mine is set up to get stone crabs,
You want them.
you want them. It's mentally you're not ready to do any change, and it's
Yeah,
true. It's just
It's
the
true.
bottom line. By all
It's-
means, I've been doing this for 32 years.
It's
You-
true.
It's stone crabs. In the holidays when it runs tight, it's people waiting in line to see if there's any cancellations and take it home. 98% of the time, you have a cancellation that you can please those customers. The bottom line, they has to put up with 2-3 hour waiting, and they don't mind because they want stone crabs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line.
Thankfully, you do still have plenty in the case. I see
No,
right
they,
now.
they got here yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I got more coming tomorrow, so that's
let-
looking good.
Let me ask you, it's a seasonal product and the season ends May 1st, so come and get them while you can. I remember one summer, were you guys experimenting with that like rock crab from Scotland that kind of resembles stone crab,
We
but a little
did.
bit less sweet? Or what did you
We
think?
did. It's just the bottom line. The product was good, and I cannot say anything about the product. The product was good. Is the shell's a little really hard, so
Mhm.
that's the reason they cut the shell. It just didn't have the presentation.
Right.
It's
A little
it's
bit duller
It's a
and
color
grayer.
water. The
Yeah.
water's cold. The bottom is really dark.
Yeah.
So the shells is dark. The Florida is used to see this
Yeah,
red,
this bright red,
gold
pinks.
looking.
Yeah,
It's amazing. And
Right.
then you got to bring like a darker shell, and it was like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
it was
what
a
happened?
little bit, I don't want to say off-putting, but it's, again, not what people are used to.
no.
Yeah.
I eat the product. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't put anything in that
Product was all right.
case that,
It wasn't quite
that I
as
won't
sweet.
try. That's just the bottom line. It's something different. We tried it. Been there, done that.
We love our stone crabs.
Yes,
we get
we
'em
do.
here again from October 15th through May 1st, most every day.
Most of it, I would say
every
90% of the
Yeah,
98%
you
of the
do
time.
a pretty good job. Otherwise, it's like, wouldn't be here 32 years if he didn't bring in the stone
No way.
crabs.
I'll be somewhere else.
Always a pleasure. Oh, so we were talking about the origin of the term 86. So I just looked it up on Google and Wikipedia, if that's a credible source. But it said that the term first started being used in the restaurant business for being out of a product, 86 something, in the 1920s or 30s. But the etymology is unknown. Nobody knows exactly how the phrase first came about.
And-
It's been the source of much speculation. One of the things is 86 rhymes with nix. So when something gets nixed, N-I-X'd, it's 86th. I don't know. Do you have any idea where that term came
We
from?
go with the flow.
Yep.
Just believe them.
That's what I would do. Go with the
with the
flow.
flow.
It also, one of the theories is that there was a bar in New York City where I've been to, Chumley's, and it was, the address of Chumley's was 86 something, and that if you got thrown out of Chumley's, you were 86th from 86. So I don't know. I have no idea what is the truth. All I know is it's taken hold in the industry, and I never want to hear that my stone crabs or
It's
my
86.
anything that I'm desiring, like a pizza from our friends at Sicilian Oven, or I don't have anything that's good that's 86, except maybe now that I'm trying to lose some weight. Wouldn't mind if the key lime pie got 86, but not gonna have it.
Bring it.
Not
bring it.
gonna do
Not
it.
gonna have it.
Not gonna do it. I'm really
He
trying
will.
to be good.
He will. He will. By
Tony,
the end of
you
the
can
show,
have-
he will.
I want you to have a bite of that Tony Segreto because they look good. Are you allowed to have sweets?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hello.
I don't know. I
Why
mean,
wouldn't it be allowed to have sweets?
some people are very like. Defo seems very disciplined, and he usually.
Oh, I'm disciplined too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm eating everything.
Well, in our final 4 minutes, can you like maybe get a little maybe get a, you know what? I don't want to do anything for anybody. I'm projecting now because I'm dying to have a bite of that key
Here
lime
you go,
pie.
here you go.
Maybe I should have one little bite. Maybe I should have one little bite. Is Jose going to serve me like I'm a baby?
Yes. You know that I was going to do that.
Here we go.
Let's try.
Oh, you
Let's
got the
try.
graham
Okay,
cracker
even
crust?
small.
Okay, there we go.
Small
This is
piece,
good. This
come
is
on.
my diet size bite, my accommodation. I got to try the key lime pie. It's available for their Valentine's Day package for 2. And again, comes with the stone crabs, the shrimp, and the key lime pie, red velvet cupcakes, a
And
romantic
we really,
way.
this is the Valentine special is the way to go for that celebration.
Oh, God. I'm really going to luxuriate in that bite because it's the only one I'm going to take today. And what I love about it, besides you have this cute little mini pie, it has the great graham cracker crust. But I'm going to say that's as good as better than Joe's Stone Crab, which is renowned for its key lime pie because it's that perfect blend of tart and sweet. Not too sweet. I don't like my key lime pie is too sweet.
Overdo it. Yeah.
Very good. Who makes these?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's something we have to ask.
It's a
Gene.
state secret.
We have to ask Gene about that.
Okay.
I really couldn't.
That's an
Couldn't tell
excellent
you
product. Did you taste it, Tony?
It's good. Dude.
Thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
All right. We're good. All right. I think that's going to do it for this week.
Thank
This
you
week,
guys.
today.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Always
this
great
is-
to see you. We'll be back next month.
it's-
Who knows what awaits after Valentine's Day and the big game?
Whoa. Look at that.
Yeah.
Let's go through the game and
No,
stuff.
no,
There's
yeah.
always something around.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
get me
gonna
wrong.
try. Well, St. Patrick's Day. Nobody really. Yeah, I don't know. It's that's more of a drinking holiday. But March is spring break.
Let's
We got-
talk to Doug. Let's bring some beer.
We'll figure. But again, we're in January. We're promoting things happening in February. February 11th, the big game. Of course, this weekend is the championship games. So you're going to want to come in here and pick up anything that you need for your home celebration. And what's that? Oh my goodness! I don't like to do the orgy of self-congratulations, but
Happy anniversary.
but I do want to thank.
Happy anniversary.
I actually, yeah, it's really been a pleasure and an honor for us to be able to partner up with you and have you guys on as sponsors because
It's been a good partnership, and I think people appreciate it. There's more people coming in, and guys, don't be afraid. Come in and like my mail. I heard the show. It'd be great. I mean, it's a nice feedback when you guys come in and say, "I heard it in my mail."
again, the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group is very, very strong, almost
Very strong.
140,000.
We
And
got a lot of some people. I wouldn't say it, but it's a lot more people coming in and say, "Oh, I heard it in South Florida. Let's
Yeah.
eat South Florida." And
It's great.
That's
It's
a
a-
good feeling.
that group is a powerhouse, and a lot of them do know and appreciate good food. And this is a great place for great product, and that's why it is Lunchbox approved. You know me, Jose. I've been coming in here for over
So
25
my
years.
parents,
Before that 1 year, I mean,
Yeah.
you've been coming here.
my parents used to come in here all the time, and then we followed them. It's an amazing place. It's a little place, but it's packed with punch.
Yeah,
We try
it's-
to concentrate on quality and the service. The
God bless
customer
you.
service.
Legendary Tony Segreto, iconic and legendary Delaware chicken farm and seafood market. It's just part of what makes South Florida home. And again, I thank you so much. I hope we make it to anniversary number 2, bigger and better
3
things.
and
4 and 5. Yeah, why am I aiming?
Let's
so
get
small?
going forward.
I guess I could count like LeBron. Not 1 title, not 2 titles, not 3 anniversaries. Much future success here for everybody at Delaware.
Thank you
It's
so
always
much,
great
and-
to come in here.
Thank you.
I promise I won't snore any more stone crabs for at least a couple of months.
Yeah, sure. We'll believe you.
We might do a little chicken tasting next time, and maybe some sausage, or who knows
Yeah.
what we'll do.
We'll
we
come
will-
with Gene on that one.
A fish.
You know, he
You know I love my fish, especially
got
now I'm
some
going to
fish
be healthy.
with this,
All
grilled salmon.
Oh yeah, salmon,
Yeah, some
some
swordfish.
tuna, swordfish. It's all good. Yes. All right, Tony Segreto, we're going to see you tomorrow at
Tomorrow,
Gulf Street Park,
Park.
10 Palms, 1 p.m. as usual. Besides Tony, we're going to have another special guest. We'll save that for tomorrow for Jeff Defo DeForest on the Mend at Home, along with Mike Lubie Lubitz on the mixing board. Everybody here at Delaware, Doug Carter, Jose, Gene, Tony Segreto, I'm Mike Mayo saying enjoy the day and enjoy every sandwich.